how comfortable will they be discussing it with their children? And when children don't feel the support of their parents in this regard, very rarely will they come to you if somebody is making advances that are wrong, not even the act being committed, but just...
Yeah, just finish.
Okay.
You just brought something back to my mind.
Okay, but how comfortable will they be? So parents, back to what she was saying, create an atmosphere of love in your home. Let the child be confident that whatever I bring to mommy or daddy, I know it will be resolved. And if it's not completely resolved, I know they will be interested in it and they will ensure that I'm protected. Every child should leave home every morning with that level of confidence. The question is, as parents, are you providing that for your children?
And the parents themselves protected?
Oh, well,
because if they're not protected,
when we talk about protection, for an adult, you have some level of ability to protect yourself. You always create alternatives to protect yourself. For a child, they're limited in the way they can protect themselves. Limited in knowledge.
Let me explain. I know Aleo has something to say. Where I'm coming from is, some of these adults were like those children. No confidence, they feel abused. So they've grown up, they're getting married, or they're having their own children, or they're having to deal with children. And sometimes is that they're coming, when they're dealing with, they're coming from that point of nobody paid attention, nobody cared, and then it's like that's what they're passing on to the children. So I ask, are those adults okay to handle this?
So it's not a case of them being protected, but do they have the right values, and do they know what they ought to do? Because you need to know what you have to do before you can do it. So if I wasn't well protected as a child, perhaps I wouldn't know it's important, it's my prerogative, it's my responsibility to protect my child. So there's that bridge. It's a foundational problem that society can help solve. Okay, so as we talk about it, as we're talking about it, and a parent is listening, when a parent hears that it's your duty to ensure you build confidence in your child, and your child comes back knowing that whatever challenge I bring to mommy or daddy, they will help me with it. If a parent didn't know this prior to this time, hearing about it now, you know. The next step would be, what do I do to ensure that perhaps if I haven't done it in the past, I am now doing it? So I think sensitization, awareness, discussing about it are ways that can encourage.
My neighbor's daughter, last week, she's 7. Some workmen working in another flat, one of the little boys who had come with the workmen, the boy was about 14 years old, told the girl, the 7-year-old, to follow him to the back, that he wants to touch her and give her pleasure. Jesus. Of course, the child ran inside and told the father, because the mother had been telling her from when she was knee-high to a grasshopper, don't let anybody touch you down there. So, of course, she raced inside and told her father, that boy says I should come, he wants to touch me, that I will enjoy it. I mean, the man was refrained from killing the boy. So if you talk to your children and tell them things like that from when they're like 2, 3 years old, if anybody touches you down there, you must tell mommy and daddy when you get home. Start drumming it into their heads. It now becomes a part of them. So even if the suggestion is made to them, they will go home and tell. Give them the confidence to be able to talk to you and report anything to you. Not make them afraid.
Flexibility at home. You know, training children with love, not indulgence, love with a lot of flexibility. In order to, you know, there's trends now. Some of these parents, some of them, their kids can't go to them because they believe mommy doesn't know what is going on right now. She won't understand me. So that's why sometimes I always encourage, listen to some of this music with them, so that you can pick words from it. If it's some of these words that are encouraging, even though you find it's not your kind of music and is encouraging, you can tell the child, this one is nice, oh, this is okay for you to listen to, because at least the wordings are telling you to do the right thing. So the ones that the wordings are telling you to do the negative things, you don't impose it. I found out that a child that you need to heal, don't impose anything on that child. Just gradually walk into ease of our mind. It's like trying to sell a particular product. If I want to sell something to you, if you don't like me, you won't buy from me. So I first need to win your love in order for you to buy whatever I sell. That goes to all parents. In order for your child to listen to you, to obey you even when you are not around, try to make them fall in love with you. I know they love you, but more. Get a relationship with them. Go into a personal relationship. Go into what they like, what they love, what they do, and, you know, try to understand it. Even if you don't like some of them, you know, you can't like it because you have to work, you have a lot of things on your mind, but you create time to listen and to see. If you don't like them, just play along as if you like it in order to win their trust.
Someone said spend at least 5 minutes with them every day. It makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. It does.
5 minutes. Whew. Okay, well, we're talking about children today, Children's Day. Channels Television's International Kids Cup Finals is happening today. Children will be there to celebrate. It's part of the Children's Day celebration. But we'll also encourage you to come around starting from 12 noon. As the show ends here, we're off to Campus Square to go and play some soccer. It's at Campus Square on Lagos.
Watch some
no,
soccer.
You're going to watch me play.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. You're playing against?
We're playing against the Lagos FA.
Okay.
That's before the children come to play the final. We're opening the stage for the children.
Okay. All right.
Go away.
Go watch some of them break their old bones and, you know.
Alero. We're just making time for the kids. Thank you so much. So as we round up, as we say our final words now, let's hear from you in closing.
I've said it all. It's all about love. Inculcate a lot of love. Do not complain about things, even though they are obvious. She said something about, you were talking about adults now, that how do you, maybe you had a background of this abusive background and you grew up thinking that that is how life should be. Maybe I should equally do the same to my children. You are now an adult. You have a responsibility to your kids, to the society. So what do you do? Even if the government or whatever you're complaining about is not working, the system is not working. So what is your own system working?
But Laura,
your system
most
work.
of the time, what we hear from parents is what happened to me should not happen to my child. That's what we hear more often.
But you see, there's always a transfer aggression. There's always, it's natural. It comes without even knowing. When you have a lot of bitterness in you, you would display things like, let's say, slam the table, for example, or slam the door, or do some things, or shout on the child just because she has done one little minor, committed one little offense. But this is something you did unaware.
Okay.
But if you can know that you have to calm down, you are also a stakeholder. You're responsible for the good society. So starting from your home, you'll be able to build your home to become a safe place for your children.
Okay. Shaya?
I'd say, you know, we've spoken about the role of government and we can talk more about that, but individuals as well, you know, and that's the sort of initiative that we take, that step as individuals, as sort of independent, you know, NGOs, to really go in and contribute ours, you know, and I think we can all sit here and talk about it and people can listen as well, but what are you doing, you know, in your own community? What are you doing to also contribute to that? So I would really say, you know, everyone should really look around the contribution they can make in the community. It could be, you know, visiting the rural communities, the villages, and playing that part. You know, it all goes a long way. Yeah.
Okay. First, to children who may be watching this morning, it's Children's Day, and I'd like to wish you a happy Children's Day. And to also say that education for all is the responsibility of all. And so as communities, as government, as mothers, fathers, relatives, neighbors, we all owe these children a responsibility for them to be educated. Moral education, civic education, academic education. It is our responsibility to educate our future. Okay. Remember, an educated society is an empowered society.
Thank you very much. Tonia Uduimo, Development Consultant, and we also had Laura Sarumi, Intuitive Counselor, and Sheye Odukogbe, who is the founder of Cycle to Class Initiative. Thank you all very much for coming to share your thoughts with us on Children's Day. Sunrise will return in just a moment, and we shall have another interesting conversation for you.